Good morning, YouTubers. I'm here today to unbox this Manly Patriot knife that has essentially just arrived here in the UK. Now, I ordered this quite some time ago, probably close to a month, from Finland, and basically it was shipped and it ended up in the possession of Border Force. Once they realized that it was not a threat to public safety and had done their due diligence on it, it arrived here in one piece. Now, it's been so long that I actually can't remember the details on this knife. I know it's a Patriot. I know it has a wood grip. I can't remember any of the details about the holster. And it's just been so long, I quite frankly can't remember what I got. Now, this looks very, very nice. I've got essentially a high quality leather holster. The strap's very soft. The leather itself feels nice. And that is the knife. There's a holster. We've got typical Manly grade. Now this is D10 steel. It's got its German designation 1.2379. But I'm assured it's D10. I've got a lovely wooden grip. I can't pronounce the species of the wood, but I can tell you that it's quite handsome. It is very, very smooth, and it really feels rock hard. I'm not kidding. It is rock hard. Now, as far as the knife itself goes, I needed a small fixed blade knife for my shop. I continually receive parcels from all over the world, and I am unboxing, creating custom packaging out of cardboard, wood, etc., etc. And I've relied on my Manly City. Now you can tell I like Manly knives. I've had this knife 2 years. The steel is 14 C28N. And I purchased this, it was an educated purchase. I quite often have to unpack and disassemble shipments outside in the rain. This knife has been through thick and thin, and it gets wet. I dry it off with kitchen roll, and I put it back in its drawer. It lives in my office. And its function is to get me through a day as far as packing materials, mail, postage, and the odd time I do use it to actually cut something substantial. Now I'm going to do another video on this later, and again, this has essentially been used multiple times a day for 2 years, and I just have noticed that the blade is exceptionally dull. So we're going to set this one aside. Again, it's a great knife, and we're going to have a little closer look at the Patriot. The balance is ridiculously good. Okay, as far as a balance point goes, I'm going to say it's, about there. It's not going to fall out of your hand easily. Now, it's slimmer than it appears visually. I have fairly large hands, and my hands wrap around this quite easily. So the grip, although substantial, it is not overly thick, and it's actually quite slim. Now, we've got some jimping on top and jimping at the bottom. I'm going to say that it doesn't feel significant. Its purpose is obviously to give you a tactile response on your finger placement. So if you can feel this, again, it looks substantial, but it's quite well polished and is not high profile. You can squeeze it with all your might and you can put a light impression in your finger. But essentially the purpose there seems to be for finger placement. So you can very quickly in the dark or with your eyes closed, just get a positive reinforcement of where your hand is on the knife. Again, I have fairly large hands and there is plenty of room at the base of the handle. So if you were one of those really, really big guys, this would be very comfortable for you to hold. And you wouldn't have any trouble with finger placement. But again, I have large hands and I would have to say that's quite the long knife handle. Now fit and finish, Manly have a standard and it's fairly high. Am I going to put this up against one of the world famous knife makers' custom work? I don't think so. The answer is probably no. But as far as a factory finish goes, I'm just going to say it's outstanding. I don't know if you can pick up some of the polish on the handle, but you can see that's what it's like when it comes out of the box. There's a bit of, I'm going to say, lube on the blade very, very lightly. Now I'm just going to gently touch it and I can tell you that that's fairly sharp. Now, Manly ships sharp knives right from the factory. I'm just going to double check this. They're saying it is definitely 1.2379 steel, which is fine. They've got wood grips confirmed. Now they're saying sharpness angle 15 degrees out of the factory, which is what I have on my other Manly knives. Corrosion resistance low. Now the corrosion resistance on this is described as high. This knife was going to be and is used outside in the rain and receives minimal maintenance. So I specifically traded edge retention over corrosion resistance because that was a conscious choice. I needed the corrosion resistance here in this climate. Now this knife has low corrosion resistance. I'm not a metallurgy expert, although I love welding and metal and stainless and various kinds of low carbon, high carbon, and medium carbon steels, tool steel. Oh, I know too. But I really don't know much about this particular steel, although I hear it's tricky to heat treat. But this knife is going to be used indoors in my shop. There are woods behind me which you can't see. You could use this knife for woodcraft. In a pinch, you could carry it hunting with you. It's just a generally nice size, and you can see it's got extremely robust construction. That is a good chunk of steel. You could pry with that. You could chop with it a bit. You could split wood with it if you absolutely had to. But this knife is going to live in my shop where I have to cut a myriad of materials on a daily basis. Nylon, webbing, cloth, plastic, polyurethane. There's a number of different substances which have killed my other shop knives. And I'll eventually get round to the knives I've killed off and the brands that I won't touch anymore. But just quickly before I finish up, I just want to give this a quick edge test. Again, I haven't touched my other Manly knives in 2 years of daily use, but I haven't found the necessity to do it. I've got a Bess tester here. There's 100 grams of tension on that line. I'm going to just throw it in test mode, and I'm very quickly going to attempt my best shot at just a random test. Okay, 242. I'm not going to say this is the sharpest knife in the drawer, but That's not bad for something that's come straight from the factory and is going to be put into just general shop use. I will use this blade until I feel that it's lost its edge, and again, it's not so much the numbers, it's if the knife is cutting satisfactorily in the environment that it's in. That's going to determine my resharpen time. But I'm going to put this into use starting today, and let's see how far we get with it. I wanted the larger one, the Drugar, but I honestly couldn't justify it. I don't need it. This knife is going to be a lot more useful to me. And as far as a safety factor goes, I've got knives that I use for peeling fruit that are longer, sharper, and more dangerous. This is absolutely perfect for what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to carry it on a work apron, and this is a very nice scabbard. There's a lot of effort that's gone into the fit and finish of this. I'm happy with the material. It's nice and soft. The knife fits extremely securely in it. You have to give it a fair amount of force to remove it, and I suspect that I could push it in a little bit deeper, although I don't want to do that. But another winner by Manly. A handsome knife, well-built knife. It's hard to describe, but there are absolutely no rough bits. There are no edges that are rough. The surfaces have been polished flush. There are no high points, low points. This little feature, it's not going to bother me. I suppose I could spend 5 minutes and polish it off so that it was never there, but I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. It doesn't really bother me. Jimping, cut nicely. This is going to be a very easy knife to sharpen. It's flat ground both sides. Yeah, this will be child's play to sharpen. Nice shape, attractive, but again, the thing that hits you immediately is the balance. You're not going to drop this knife by accident. Look at where it sits. It wants to sit there. Okay, easy knife to hold. And again, that's probably 99% of it. I'm very happy with the construction. I was worried that if I had to disassemble it, it would be tricky to do because again, I'm going to use it in a damp environment, not a wet environment, and I worry about corrosion, but I can easily remove these scales. They're not riveted. That looks like a Torx fitting. So I could probably have this knife apart in less than a minute. Again, I don't want to take it apart, but I just want to make sure that there's no corrosion. And I didn't buy this knife for its corrosion resistance. I bought it for its toughness and edge retention. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, and I really appreciate you sharing the joy of this knife with me. It's a really nice knife. Thanks very much.